What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing DC's Shazam. Shazam. His name used to be Captain Marvel. Not a lot of people know that. Well, maybe you did. They couldn't keep the rights to the name, so he was Shazam. DC. You already know how they roll at the box office. It's struggle city for DC. It's uneven waters, you know what I'm saying? Apparently, Aquaman is like a upswing for them. Even though I was like, it was cool, you know, people liked it more, people thought it was good. People are mixed with Aquaman, but it made money though. And so it was a come up from like Suicide Squad and the Justice League and all that. And of course, Wonder Woman. But other than that, DC is struggle city, not including the Christopher Nolan Batmans. So Shazam is coming out. Now, mind you, I was skeptical on the trailer. At first, when I first saw the teaser trailer, I was like, okay, DC's going light, I'm all in. And then when I saw another trailer, I was like, I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan of the costume. I wasn't a fan of how the costume looked. It was kind of like, it just looked like a puffy costume. Like, you know, just a regular bodied individual could put on, and now you got muscles. It reminded me of like the Tick costume, how the Tick was just swole in the costume. So I was like, I don't know. So I was skeptical going in, so I was like, all right, we're gonna see. I see what DC's trying to do. They're trying to get funny because, you know, they were doing the dark stuff and people weren't reacting. And they were like, Marvel over here winning. They got the fun and games mixed with the action and the heart. We should do that too. We getting too dark. Let's put some color in here. All right, let's try. And they tried it. All right, Shazam is directed by David Sandberg, who did the movie Lights Out. I don't know if y'all remember the creepy movie where if the lights went out, the ghosts would come in when the lights went out. And Annabelle Creation. I saw Annabelle Creation on the airplane. It was mediocre as hell. And so was that flight. But, you know, they was like, all right, let's give them a shot. Let's throw them in these superhero waters, man. Now, Shazam is played by Zachary Levi, who you may remember from the show Chuck on NBC. You don't remember that? All right. He was also in a couple of Thor movies. But I just remembered him from Chuck. I don't even remember him in the Thor movies, but apparently he was in there. He's cast as Shazam. Now, Shazam, let me tell you about Shazam. He was always a cool, because he could kind of hang with Superman. I don't think he was as strong as Superman, but he could hang with him. And one of Superman's weaknesses is magic, and Shazam's power is magic. Now, if you're not familiar with Shazam, he got his power from this old wizard. And he was like, you say my name, and then you get the power of the champions. You know what I'm saying? And so he's actually a kid. He's really just a kid. And so once he says Shazam, lightning strikes, he's this grown man with superpowers. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like his older self. And so that's what this movie's about this orphan kid who's getting into trouble. He's trying to find his mom, and he's running away from orphanages and foster homes and, like, you know, trying to find his way. But, you know, you got to be pure of heart to, you know, get the powers of Shazam. So he had a pure heart, but at the same time, he was on a mission. And so he's granted these powers, and now he has speed, super strength, lightning bolts. He's got the whole shebang. And the costume. Now the costume is like, can he take it off? Like, can he come out of the costume? That's what I want to know, because like, how do you get out of those costumes? Where's the breakage? Where's the opening? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get this off? And so I was wondering that the whole movie, like, you know, when you got to go to the bathroom, how does it work mechanically? Like, you know, how's it work? And that's what the movie's about. You know, there's a super villain. I don't want to get too much away, but there's an evil side as well. He also has powers as well. And it's played by Mark Strong from, you may remember from the Sherlock Holmes joint. He was in a lot of movies at one point in time. Like, he was everywhere. And so he's also in the movie. I like him as a villain. I like him as an actor, so it's always good to see Mark Strong out here in these streets. One of the highlights in the movie, first of all, this movie was casted well. Like, it was a bunch of kid actors in here that did a good job. Like, you know, you actually like the kids. Especially when he goes to a foster home, a new one. The kids were great. They weren't mouthy, they were just a good bunch of kids. Like, man, it made me think, like, man, you know, maybe I can foster some kids out here. You know what I'm saying? It turned me on to the foster parent life. I was like, I can take some kids that's already grown. You know, they got different problems coming in, but I ain't got to change diapers. You know what I mean? It was kind of a good look. So good cast on that tip, especially Jack Dylan Grazer, who you may remember from It that came out. He was one of the kids in there. He was a highlight in It as well. He's a highlight in this. Like, he was great. He was great. I was like, yo, I like this kid, man. One of the takeaways from Shazam is just the costume, man. I'm still not a fan of the way the costume looked. It was cool, but it was like, it was costumey, man. It was costuming. It was Halloween-y on the soft tip. It was like if you saw somebody dressed as Shazam on Halloween, you're like, all right, Shazam. Oh, look at this zombie over here. You know what I mean? It's like, that's one of my takeaways, the costume. Another takeaway is the movie has a message about loving those who love you. People are always out here chasing people that don't love them back. It's something about people that don't reciprocate the love you're giving them. I don't know what it is. People just, he don't love you though, girl. Yeah, but I can make him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then you neglecting the people that's really riding with you at the same time. That's a great message in this movie. And so that's definitely a takeaway right there. One of my main gripes about the movie, and pretty much my only real complaint besides the costume, is I didn't like the dynamic between the main kid, Billy Batson, and his Shazam version. Now, Zachary Levi plays Billy as Shazam. He plays him great. Like, you really feel like he's a kid in a grown man's body. I feel like Zachary did a good job conveying that. Like, he really had a youthful spirit. He was all wide-eyed and young acting. I believed it. But when he was an actual kid, when he was Billy himself, he was moody, cranky. He was just like, he didn't seem fun to be around. But when he was Shazam, he was a good time. It was like, yo, man. And his boy called him out on it. He's like, man, you fun when you this. But when you your real self, you ain't worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't like that contrast. Like, why are you all Hype Williams right now when you Shazam, but then when you yourself, you just not really a jerk, but just kind of no fun. I didn't like that dynamic. But that's my only complaint, really. Like, because this movie was a good time. It was funny. It was funny, and this is probably the funniest DC movie so far. Aquaman tried to be funny, but they wasn't nailing it. Like Aquaman, I felt them trying to make me laugh in Aquaman. And they're trying to be silly in Shazam, obviously, but it didn't feel as forced. A lot of it was like organic laughs. This is one part that really had me cracking up. This is mid-battle, too, and I was like, yes. It plays on a cliche that you see in all kind of action movies and with villains and monologues. The joke was perfect, man. But forget all that. Y'all want to know the smooth jazz review of Shazam. Well, here it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got the squeak back. I'm giving Shazam 4 saxophones out of 5. I'm going to say it's the best DC movie since... the Christopher Nolan. We all know the Christopher Nolan joints are the cream of the crop. But I would say for me, it's the best DC movie since The Watchmen. I know a lot of people don't really like The Watchmen like that. I felt like The Watchmen was dope as hell, and it stayed true to the original book and actually improved on the ending, in my opinion, in the movie, more so than the book. But if you take out The Watchmen, it's the best DC movie. I think it's better than Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Fight me in the comments section, man. I'm going to turn around and say something slick, but I forgot what I was going to say. So I'm going to just turn around awkwardly, you know what I'm saying, and look at y'all the whole time. I wish I had an owl neck so I could just do it the whole... All right, that's my review of Shazam. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is it better than Wonder Woman? Is it better than Aquaman? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, if you're a big fan of Shazam, I recommend you watch the fight he had with Superman in the novel, the graphic novel, Kingdom Come. And check out Shazam vs. Superman on the DC animated tip. The DC animated movies are great, so check those out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, we out here.